So guys, entries, right? Honestly, one of the easiest parts of the puzzle for me. Like it's when you've done all the work, right? And it's just literally looking at what price does when it reaches your level and can you get in or not, right? So I'll take this morning's price action because it's a very good example of it. Right, we can see, and it's just about, like, obviously it's all building that narrative, stuff like that, right? But we can see that we've had a break of structure, so we have a lower high, right? So we are expecting another lower high, basically, right? This high is strong, this low is weak, right? So we want to trade into this, then away from it, basically, right? So if we're coming up to, you know, and yeah, then it's just like looking at your POIs and being aware of what you want in your POIs as well, right? So here we have this large supply candle, right? There are refinements in this. It doesn't hit a refinement, so I won't bother refining it to it. But we have this large supply candle. When it hits that, right, if it doesn't hit a refinement, we want to take a 1M chotch and a flip away from it, right? If it hits the seconds, we can then trade the seconds, right? But yeah, it doesn't. Right, here again, like, what do we have here for longs? You know, we've got this here. Let's see if we can find anything nice. Yeah, there we go. One beautiful 10M POI there. Right, and we can refine this down to the lower time frames. So we can really get a very specific level we want to trade from. So ideally we'd want this wick. Right, so if it hits this wick, we can trade a seconds time frame price action away from it. Right, price comes up, price continues. Right, sorry, played that a little bit fast there. But yeah, let's have a look at this on the 5S. Turn this off. Right, so I mean, even here for me, this is already looking like an entry, right? We've come in, we've mitigated this level strongly. We don't have a chotch yet. Well, we do technically. I mean, yeah, I'd probably be in there, to be honest. I'd be thinking, cool, I can see that we've had some form of interaction here, right? We've obviously had this large run on liquidity here, right? So it's that whole thing of mitigation. So liquidation, right? Mitigation, V-shaped recovery. Right, followed by a change of character. Right, we take this low, here we take this high, so this is our shift in order flow. We can see that we get some form of interaction there. Right, so this becomes our level for buys. Depending on where we can get our stop. Well, yeah, look here we can cover that with that, so that's perfect. You know, like either this level is respected or we get taken out of the trade. You know, and then we can see how it wants to play. It may come down a little lower, but it shouldn't take us up. Right, this level is respected. We could always get in a bit later, you know, and this is the problem sometimes with getting in aggressive places. You know, there's probably another entry, yeah, down here, look. You see, again, we get a run on liquidity into the POI, right, we get a flip, we get a chotch, so we could take like this if it comes back for it, may not, but then we could like follow the mitigations on the way up. You know, we've got this next range here that we could be looking at. We've got this range here now that we could be looking at. You know, and ideally, if it's correct, See how it never violates that range? So if we've missed this, say we've taken a loss on this, right, we can just follow this up. Here we can see that order flow kicking in, right, demand range. Demand range, missing the mitigations of it, but that's fine, it's moving with momentum at that point in time, right? Another demand range, comes back in, respects, and in theory goes to no. Right, then we're looking at this trade, like, okay, where are we going to partial it? You know, we'll close it there, 1 to 13, lovely trade, right? Let price play out and just see how it's developing again, right? Like you see here, we've got another run on liquidity here, right? Another run on liquidity here, right? Liquidity built. Taps into the POI, doesn't hit a refinement, but again we get this chotch and this flip here. Right, yeah, we got a flip here. This isn't like a bullish candle, but we can still try to short this, you know, because price may just leave. We don't know at that point in time. Right, price misses us, but if we use the whole thing like sensible people. You know, and by this point, if we use a nice small stop, we get our risk off anyway, right? Then we've got this level up here, the extreme. Right? So, cool, we get taken out of that for break even. And again, it's just the same price action, right? Liquidation, mitigation, V-shaped recovery, chotch, flip, right? Either take the flip or take the extreme. And then we can just go and monitor this for even more confirmation. Down here. If I mark that out properly, that would help. I know I have marked it out properly. Does that come to it? It hasn't hit it yet, that's why. Right, and this is why we wait for it to be hit. There we go, gets hit. Right, now what are we looking for? Well, again, just a chotch, a flip. I mean, I'd be happy to get in this here, but yeah. Especially after seeing all of these supply ranges created. Like this one gets created, this one gets created. So I'd be quite happy to get in that here, personally. Just because we're seeing that order flow away from it. You know, we know that the expectation is again a lower high. So we can take that. Right, and off she goes on her merry way. Right, it's really like the whole thing is just getting the nice levels, right? Like finding those nice POIs that we can trade from. That's what we really want. Right, once we get the nice POIs, you know, in the morning 1 to 13, 1 to 25. You know, you're done. Like literally done, right? And a break even. You know, it's not just trading anything in the middle, all of that stuff. Like entries are, in theory, really, really easy. Right, it's all about selecting the correct levels to trade from. Once you've got that, you're in a world of your own. I mean, we'll do a zoom on more entry models because I know there's stop orders and stuff like that that people want to learn about, but it'd be better to have conversations around that sort of stuff. But as your basic entry models, this is exactly what you're looking for, right? Either a refined level like this, right, and a seconds time frame entry off the refined level, or the mitigation of a higher time frame POI and a 1M chotch and flip away from that, and then trading the reaction to that, right? Yeah, cool. And it's always that same thing: liquidation, mitigation, change of character, and a flip, right? Trade it. Cool. All right, guys. Yeah, short video, but honestly, it's really, you know, ask me anything you want me to go over more in depth, like, and we'll hop on, like, we'll do it over a Zoom, or I'll do another video about it or something like that. But yeah, peace, guys.